I'm not a fan of your keepers coming out and chipping over people's head and stuff like that.
No,
doing all that malarkey. Oh, it's
Yeah.
not an entertainment sport.
No, that's it.
Bloody football.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's the Pompey Podcast with Mike and Dan. Hello,
Hi.
Dan. Good evening.
Hi.
What a shower of dog turd we've got to talk about this evening, eh?
Well, never mind.
Never mind. And that concludes the pod for this week. We'll be back next week to hopefully talk about better games. Let's get into it. We're going to get straight into this game. It all went horribly wrong at the weekend against Blackpool.
I know exactly why to start off with. Why it happened.
Well, let's start unboxing then, Dan. Tell us, why did it happen?
Well, the reason why we lost is because turnstile 14 wasn't working at Fratton Park, which is the turnstile we always go in without fail. And I always say, don't go in any other ones, stick to 14, because that's been lucky so far. And that's a lucky number. I've lived in 3 number 14 houses, so that's the one we were going in. And then when we got there, turnstile 14 wasn't working, was it? So nobody could get in there. So I said, for fuck's sake, that's this game gone then, isn't it?
Technical fault.
And then it was. So there you go. That's exactly why we lost. Nothing to do with what happened on the pitch. It's because turnstile 14 wasn't working. It
would have been even more creepy had we got one back and it would have been 4-1 or 1-4.
That would have been, that would have been
mad. But yes, I think you're right. I think that's probably the main reason why. Yeah. So you were there, obviously. Turnstile 14. Which turnstile did you use, by the way, just out of interest? Because don't use that one again.
Shitty 15, mate.
Oh, not 15.
Shitty 15, yeah.
Never go 15.
15.
Never go 15.
Terrible turnstile. Terrible.
Yeah. Well, make sure you don't use that one again. So, how was pre-match? How was the mood in the ground pre-match? Because team news I thought was quite interesting. The inclusion of Martin.
I think there was quite a lot of optimism.
Okay.
People kept saying to me, "Oh, do you think Pompey are going to win then?" And I think that was one of the few games where I was sort of like, "Yeah, I think they will. I think we'll win comfortably." Even though Blackpool were doing all right, and they were seventh, eighth, something. I thought we'd still be too strong for them. Yeah. But then when I did see the lineup, I was a bit concerned by the front. The 3 behind Bishop, I thought was a bit lightweight.
Martin, Kamara, Lane. Yeah. I was surprised Lane started as well. Obviously, coming out of the international. The internationals with was it a hamstring? No, it wasn't a hamstring. A calf, wasn't it? Calf strain. I was surprised, but I wonder how much of it was down to because White had some sort of family issue which ruled him out of the game. Which is why
that's why he didn't come on then. Oh, right.
Yeah, apparently White was due to start and then had a family issue. Don't know what that meant, but so anyway, so Martin started. Let's obviously we started the game terribly, but let's look at Martin first of all. What did you think of him overall, and then we'll talk.
Well, I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he did much, but what he did do, I don't think he did anything that made me think he wasn't good, or I don't know. He just didn't really get many touches. I didn't think, but
from your angle, you probably had quite a good view of his one-on-one, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, should have put that one away, shouldn't he? Yeah,
yeah. Kind of looked to be looking for someone to pass it to, didn't he?
Yeah,
looked like he was looking for someone to pass it to. Didn't seem to have a lot of confidence.
I'd forgotten all about that. Yeah, I thought he would have been better off. Lifting it over the goalkeeper. He sort of hit it low, didn't he? And the keeper.
He kind of went with when we was left. It looked set up really to go over his right, and the keeper kind of went down relatively early, didn't he? And you'd think you would just lift it over, and it just. Yeah. He seemed to be looking around when the ball came through him. He looked around. Fair enough. You're going to look around, see what's around you, and see what's on. And there wasn't much on, to be fair. But you want to do a little lift over the keeper there, don't you? To the far side. And he looked like he tried to take an extra touch and left-footed it into the keeper's chest. Yeah, you would have buried it, wouldn't you? Of course.
Yeah, meat and drink, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, so he was. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he did anything wrong. I've seen a few reports of people saying, "Oh, Blackpool battered us," and etc., etc. But I don't think Blackpool needed to be very good. I don't think.
No,
it was just not a good day, was it? And I think even 1-0 at half time, I thought we'd still come out.
Yeah.
There's always that optimism this season where just thought we'd come out, get an equaliser, get back in the game, even if it was only a draw. I thought we'd still get something out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't to be.
It wasn't to be, indeed. We started really slow, didn't we? And I think there's a little bit of, there's quite a lot of controversy over the first goal. I've seen it back a few times, and I can see what the keeper's saying, really, with regards to Norris, what he's saying with regards to whether it went over the line or not. Because it does seem because he was quite miffed about it, wasn't it? That he felt he turned it onto the post and then obviously got it before it went over the line. And initially I thought, it's definitely gone over. But I've watched it 3 or 4 times, and obviously the angles, you don't get the Premier League angles at this level. But I'm not massively convinced. But that said, there wasn't a lot of complaints elsewhere, was there?
No, I mean, I haven't seen. I've only seen one replay of it, but I thought at the time it looked like it had gone over the line, and that's from being, however, by the halfway line, I thought it had gone over. And like you said, I didn't see too many people complaining at the time. I think it was more that stunned silence of the fact that when they said, "and goal scorer for Blackpool," in fucking Dale. I was just like, come off it.
Had to be, didn't it?
Couldn't even do that properly either, could he? Couldn't even kick that in properly. Had to scuff it and bounce it. Yeah, well done, mate.
Give us a chance of saving it. No, he had to be. It always had to be. But we then had that period, didn't we, for about 20 minutes after not immediately after the goal, but about 5 minutes after the goal. We then had a period of about 20 minutes where we were definitely on top. Pretty much, probably, almost not even 20 minutes, probably through to half time, really. They always looked dangerous on the break, I thought. Whenever they came away, they always looked dangerous. I thought we looked a little bit nervous at the back. Obviously, a lot of people have mentioned about how Sparks didn't have his best game, and he definitely didn't. He was getting skinned all the time, wasn't he? But we never really created, I didn't think, anything clear cut up front.
No, I think we had,
with the exception of the one-on-one.
Yeah, I think there was a couple from Lane, wasn't there, sort of cutting inside. Yeah, and a few sort of cross shots. The one that went over the bar. Yeah, but the one that forced the keeper to backpedal and turn it over was. That's right. Yeah, meant to be a cross, I think, but it kind of turned into a bit of a shot in the end, didn't it? Classed as a highlight if you watch the highlights of the game. That was. Yes. So, that was the first half, really, wasn't it? Pretty much. And then the second half. I don't know. Did we start well second half? I can't even remember. I think we needed to start. I think the problem we had is that they overran us in midfield, and they played a kind of 3-5-2 formation with wing backs, and I thought their wing backs did all right, actually, considering both their wing backs probably are more wingers than wing backs. They did cover a lot of ground, but we never really got out of the traps. I don't think second half, did we? We were okay first 5 minutes or so. But then, as soon as they got that second goal, even then, it still looked like every time they came forward, they could potentially score. It just it was back to that stage whereby we didn't look secure, I felt, at the back. No, I think you're quite right. Although, I mean, Sparks wasn't great. I don't think Raggett was particularly bad. I don't think either of the centre-backs were particularly... Oh, you're going to disagree with that, then? I don't think they. No. I agree. I don't think. I think it's people were sort of expecting Raggett to be the weak link. Yeah, but the 2 games that he's played, he's been all right. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like you say, they just looked like they were going to get a chance every time they went forward, and then of course when they had the red card, and I think what I was saying to my son after the game was the fact that we did have the red card and that it was 4-0 and it was sort of turning into a farce actually lessens the blow a bit. I think if we'd lost 1-0 or 2-1 at home to Blackpool, you'd be really quite disappointed. We've lost that unbeaten streak, and it's been a close game. But the fact that it was 4-0 and was sort of turning into a bit of a joke, I think just lessened the blow a bit. I think it was just. Did you get that impression?
Yeah. In a way, it was a kind of. It was almost a defence via attack for the last 10 minutes. But then from our point of view, I don't think we were particularly defending well. I think you had kind of Sadie who was flying into challenges all over the place. It wasn't really uncontrolled, and you kind of, bless him, Yengi was running all over the place, but it's just like a headless chicken. It was just chasing shadows, and we didn't seem to have any sort of composure in front of. Well, I was going to say in front of the back four, but even in the back four, there just didn't seem anything. Everyone just seemed all out of sorts, and almost like a like a boxer who's in the 12th round and just hanging on, just to they know they're going to lose on points, but they've been battered for 12 rounds, but they just don't want to be knocked out. And I thought Pompey were like that right at the end. They just kind of like they were just nowhere. They had no ideas. And I know you play against 10 men, but how many times have we played against 10 men and people say, it's more difficult to play against 10 men?
Right,
It certainly wasn't more difficult for Blackpool.
And I think even his substitutions said that, didn't they? The fact that he took Bishop off, which he ever does, it was sort of like, we've lost the game now. So we'll take apart the person that's most likely to score, and it's just damage limitation. We're just going to put people on for the sake of it now, and just rest a few players. But I thought he would have bought. If Pack's fully fit, I thought he would. I expected him to come on at half time. I thought he was going to bring him on for Martin. At half time, do what he did basically. But that was that was after the sending off, wasn't it? He did that.
It was No, I agree, and I'm surprised if he is fully fit why he didn't start really, because I would have started him and moved Robertson forward. I thought it was a bit bizarre. I know, fair enough. White has the issue, but White, as we know, hasn't had a great start to the season anyway. So I wouldn't have been that confident had he started. But clearly, Martin struggled at the beginning of the second half, fitness-wise. Hasn't played for 7, 8 months, 9 months, whatever. And so you would have thought those changes would have come earlier, if not start Pack from the off. Let's have that solidity in midfield. By then, obviously, it was damage limitation, wasn't it? It's just kind of now, let's get out of this game what we can. As you say, I think had we lost 2-0, we probably would have been okay in the circumstances. I'm one of those, and I had a few conversations with people on socials about there's no need to lose your mind, is there? It's one game at the end of that. And I know it's a bad game. Excuse me, but I think we've played worse. I think earlier in the season we were playing pretty bad. Well, actually, maybe not worse. As bad. But not recently. A lot of people are saying that was coming. I don't think it was coming. I think we've played all right recently.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we haven't been as good as we were, but you're not going to maintain that level of performance for the whole season. But we still weren't losing games. I think I only heard a few comments from the crowd. Nothing too. It wasn't like they were really getting on their backs. I heard one. Fucking shit. That was about it. Yeah, just a couple of those. But then I was quite surprised at the amount of people that left at 3-0. I mean, I know we'd lost the game, but even my son was saying to me, it was 3-0, and he was like, can we go now? And I was like, come on, mate, let's just stay to the end. He was like, but we've lost now, haven't we? And I said, but that's the point. I said, we've lost the first game in 27, whatever it is, league games. I said, I think the least we can do is sort of wait till the end, But the amount of people that left, I just thought was quite surprising.
Half empty by the end of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I just thought that's quite a statement, really, that the first loss in 27, 28?
Well, 27 games unbeaten, and then
27 games. The first loss in 28 games. I just thought that wasn't great.
I think you couple that with the fact that obviously we got knocked off the top. Our first defeat, we get knocked off the top. Kind of is a bit of a double blow, isn't it? But you and the fact that we got hammered. We got absolutely hammered at home by a team who again, are in okay form, not in brilliant form, but they're in okay form. They're still kind of 7th, 8th at the start of play. I think I think there's a combination of everything, and I can understand being at the game. I can understand being frustrated. Maybe people letting their frustration out. Maybe they're going to cut of drinks or whatever and get a little bit pissed off. I just think once you get home and the dust has settled, 24 hours later, you're still seeing, oh, that's it. Announced relegation was one of the things I saw, and I know that might have been a little bit tongue in cheek, but you never know, do you? You never know with what some people are saying. Let's talk about morale, because I'm going to say this, and I said this earlier in the season.
I think you're going to have a different. I think you're going to have a different opinion to me on this.
Okay, well, I said this is what I thought when he got the first yellow, which was a ridiculous challenge anyway. I knew he was going to get sent off. And I think there's a couple of things that added to it. The fact that we weren't playing well. He's one of those players that when we're not playing well, and it's frustrating, and also you've got decisions going against you, which you probably then are thinking, this is just not our day. He's one of those players that just gets a little bit petulant, a little bit childish, and just flies into things. And that's the first yellow I thought was ridiculous. It was immature. It's the sort of thing you expect from like I don't know.
If Robertson did it, you'd expect.
Well, if he was that mentality, I was going to say like a 17-year-old Joey Barton or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just like someone who's got no maturity whatsoever. And but yeah, I suppose to a degree, Robertson thinks he's really young, but Morel is an international player, been to a World Cup. He's played in front of big crowds. He should be out, and he's not being funny. He's also a Welsh international, so he's got to be used to losing games, isn't he? So that first challenge, I just thought, you could tell by the way he went into it. You thought he's lost his head. He's lost his head. And I imagine then the Kamara not getting the penalty, which in my mind was a stone wall. And I've seen it 4 or 5 times since. Every time I've seen it, it's like can't see how that's not been given. The referee's in a decent position. Absolutely ridiculous. I think he's looking for it a little bit.
Yeah. So tell me that one then, because that was the one at the Fratton end, Jess, and it was that's over the opposite side. So I thought, and I haven't seen it since. I thought that it wasn't I didn't think it was a penalty, but I've only seen it.
I think the problem is a little bit. I think he's kind of looking for it, but I think he's looking for it. But if they foul you, it's still a foul, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whether you're looking for it or not, and I think he has gone down. It's gone down easily, but it's gone down, definitely been challenged and definitely been caught, and the player hasn't got the ball. The thing for me is when he went around the first player, it looked then as if he might, you know what I mean, be one of those players who kind of is a little bit cumbersome anyway in the way he moves, that he doesn't look like he's got a natural rhythm to him. But then I thought at that stage he might, he's looking for a pen, and then he obviously went down. So I thought it was in my, and like I said, I've seen it several times since, and I've not changed my mind. I think that then in Morale's mind, because what you got to think from Morale's point of view is where he's made that challenge. He's made that challenge. He's dived in for a start. It's on the edge of their box, and it's just like absolutely no need to make that challenge.
No, you're right, but I will stick up for him in the fact that it was another bad pass from Sparks, which it was a simple pass to make. It was a 10-yard, 5-yard pass that all he had to do was roll it along the floor to Morel. It's a simple, basic pass that children can do at grassroots football level. And he sort of bobbled it to him, didn't he? And didn't put enough pace on it. It was a pass with no conviction. And then, of course, Morel's first touch was bad, and then it's the lunge following it, isn't it? It's the, oh, shit, I've miscontrolled it. Now I'm going to lunge for it and hope to God that I win the ball. Oh, shit, I haven't got my second yellow. So I think in that respect, I do agree that, Morel should know better, and it's the fact that it's his second red card for the things that he always gets carded for. So he should know better. He should know just to stay on his feet. But I think it's just that split second, isn't it? That split second decision. And they can go either way. If he goes in and wins the ball cleanly, then everyone's saying, oh, what a great challenge that is. But because he's late, then...
Well, I think it's the nature of the challenge, isn't it?
I
know. And I've seen some people defend him saying, I'd rather see someone going full-blooded than whimper out. But I just think you've got to choose your battles, haven't you? And if you're going full-blooded when someone's... Fair enough. If someone's kind of going through and there's only a couple of defenders, it's like 2-on-2 or whatever, and he flies in, then yes, fair enough, because you're actually, you're taking one for the team, aren't you? Yeah. He's not taking one for anyone there. He's just doing himself in, isn't he? He's doing the team in, and you might be annoyed. Yeah. And you're 2-0 down. You're chasing the game. And actually, I thought at that point we were actually doing okay. Although we'd gone 2-0 down, we had that opportunity with Kamara where that should have been a pen, and I thought we were kind of getting a little bit of a foothold in the game, and then suddenly, as soon as he got, that's it. The game's gone, didn't he? And we still had half an hour left to go. You never know. If we'd have got it to 2-1 on 70 minutes, you never know. We could have got something out of that game, couldn't we?
You don't never know.
You don't never know.
What did you think of the officials at the weekend?
I thought we've had some pretty poor officials this season, haven't we? As we have commented several times, and I'd say they were possibly the worst. Yeah,
I think the linesman that gave the goal in the first half. He was very strange. He was getting a lot of stick down our side. Balls just going out of play, not going out of play. He missed he missed an offside, or he gave offside for something. I can't remember. I think he missed an offside. Yeah, he missed an offside for Blackpool in the first half, where the goal was about 3 yards offside. He didn't flag. I mean, there seems to be a thing now where even if a ref doesn't see anything and the linesman can blatantly see something like a foul, they don't seem to flag for anything now, unless it's maybe a penalty or something. I don't know, because there was one where Bishop just sort of got clotheslined, and about 20-30 yards from goal, and it was just like a blatant free kick. And I just thought, you must have seen that linesman, but they just don't seem to. I don't know whether they've just got this thing where it's just like, don't give any fouls. I'll do that. If you don't, if I don't see it, I don't want to know about it. I
wonder if there's a thing, because I think Bishop is potentially should have had 3 or 4 penalties this season. He certainly was being pulled all over the place again, wasn't he, at the weekend?
Yeah.
And then he did that foul in the box, which fair enough was a foul. He did give him a little shove at the back post.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But he'd been through that himself. I'd say 5 or 6 times without getting anything for it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give that at the back post because it's in the penalty area, you've got to also give it when you're 25 yards from goal, haven't you?
Yes.
And surely you want the benefit to the attacker as well. You want it to be an attacking game, don't you? So if you're thinking, there's no real jeopardy there, I'm not going to give a free kick or anything like that. Just go for the safe option of going with the defensive team. Well, surely you want the opposite to happen.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
And I think what probably happens is he doesn't help himself, because he gives as good as he gets, and he's always looking for the foul. And I think what probably happens is you get the defending team will go up to the ref before kickoff or shortly after kickoff and just say, "Watch him, he'll dive all over the place." And then you get an arrogant ref like you did on the Saturday. That thinks he's making no, I'm not giving you that one, son, because I know that you dive all over the place.
I know your game.
Yeah, I know your game. Yeah, he had that air of arrogance about him, didn't he? That ref at the weekend, where he was sort of one of those where, no, I don't care that your player's been fouled at the Fratton end, and that I've got 17,000 Pompey fans screaming for a penalty. I'm not giving that one because Bob Smith or whoever I am.
I think they were shocking though, weren't they? And I think they got as many wrong. Well, not as many, but they got quite a few wrong for Blackpool as well, didn't they? That said, and as Mousinho said, that wasn't the reason why we lost the game. Of course, not at all. We were poor. We were really poor. And like you said at the beginning, Blackpool weren't that great, were they? They had pace out wide. Their 2 wide players looked very tricky. I thought they were dangerous on the break. They were organised at the back. That's basics, isn't it? That's what you want, really. That's what you want as an away team.
I've seen better teams down there this season. I don't think
for sure.
I don't think they needed to be great. And I just think it's the players that we've lost now are starting to we're starting to notice them. Yeah, because I noticed that with the not playing out from the back, it seemed to just be give it to Norris every time, and it was just give it to Norris. And what Norris does is he looks for that ball out onto the right wing where Bishop and Lane are, because Bishop will drift over with his left foot, crossfield ball, and it's just every time, even from every kickoff, it goes straight back to Norris, and Norris boots it upfield.
Is that through necessity? Just due to the fact that not having that defender like Paul, who is
I guess it must be, because it didn't. We used to. This season they sort of mixed it up a bit, didn't they? Where they would play it to Paul, Shaughnessy, and they would play it out, move it into pack, move it into the midfield, etc., etc., or maybe Norris would go long. But it seems to be that it is just we don't trust Raggett to pass the ball out the back. So let's just give it to Norris, boot up Bishop, and hope he wins it or wins a free kick.
And although he puts himself about, he doesn't win a lot of headers, does he?
No.
He's a nuisance, but he doesn't win a lot of headers. And I thought in that first half as well, if you're going to do that, you're then going to need Kamara quite close. Kamara's in that 10 role, isn't he? Yeah. And I didn't think he wasn't that effective in that role. I didn't think. No. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great either. Final thing before we move on, Robertson. What did you think of him at the weekend?
I thought he was all right. I thought he was one of our better players again. I thought he was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I thought. We were talking about man of the match. I said him and maybe Raggett, I think. Okay. But yeah, Robertson didn't seem to. He didn't do anything wrong. He still seemed like he tried to be playing. He tried to do the right things. But yeah, I think it was a tough game.
It was a tough game. But one thing I noticed is that one thing I saw about him is that quite often, even some of the more senior players would be looking for him as the outlet. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially in midfield, when it's tight, he did a few little things where he'd just do a little spin around the corner, lose his kind of midfield marker, or he'd find himself in space. And so I think it was him that played the ball through to Martin, wasn't it? For the chance, if I remember rightly. Might not be Morel, but yeah. Well, I thought he was our man of the match. I thought head and shoulders. I thought Morel was actually having a decent game until he lost his head. And it's a shame because he has done really well recently. But never mind. Shall we see what the socials were saying, Dan?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to be balanced on the socials. I've got some interesting ones, but I've also got some ones that more in tune with the way I thought about the outcome.
Okay, that's fair. I suppose that's fair.
So we'll kick off with need to get Bishop off, not good enough. Straight to the point now. I won't mention any names. I won't throw people under the bus. Need Pack and Yengi. Martin is fantastic. Lane needs more precision.
Right,
Norris is shocking. That's the end of that one. Go on.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that?
So let's pick that apart, shall we? So what? Let's start with the Martin is smashing or whatever it was. What was it?
Smashing. It's fantastic.
Martin is fantastic. Okay. In what sense? In what context was he fantastic?
Yeah, I don't know. What was seen there? What was seen that he didn't do enough to be fantastic.
Well, he didn't do it. He didn't. I mean, you can't surely. You can't say whether he's a good or a bad player from that game. How could you say he's fantastic from that 45 minutes? Oh, okay, whatever. Norris is shocking. Well,
he's had a couple of bad games.
He has had a couple of bad games, and on Saturday, I just thought I don't know, and he's starting to get a bit silly as well. I've noticed.
Yeah, he's getting a bit cocky with his
with the
step
one
overs.
where he step over and he flicked it with the outside of his left boot to Sparks, I think it was, and I just thought, mate, we're 3 or 4-0 down. Let's stop with the fanning around now.
Some people love all that from goalkeepers, don't they? It's not for me. Nah. But then I'm a bit old school. I'm not a fan of your keepers coming out and chipping over people's head and stuff like that. Doing all that malarkey. Oh, it's not an entertainment sport.
Nah, that's it.
Bloody football.
Yeah.
You just get your face in the way of the goal and then you boot it up the other end of the pitch. That's what you do.
That's it.
Anyway, so next we've got so I assume this original one. I'll read the original one and then I'll read the response. So the original one I assume is sarcastic. Season's over. John out. This club is going nowhere. #Pompey. And then the response is, you wrote it, Lewis, but we've been winging it for ages. The aim is promotion, draw at home from winning position. Now 2 down at home. So this wasn't even at the end when it's 4-0. This is when we were 2 down. Not good.
Okay, so Mousinho out, yeah?
Yep. Oh, John out. Yeah, John out.
Mousinho out. John out. Yeah. And what was the first part before that?
It was club is going nowhere.
Club is going nowhere. Okay. So
I think surely But I think surely that person is being sarcastic.
They've got to be, surely.
They've got to be.
But then again, some people are that stupid, aren't they? Some people. I mean, some of the comments I hear, they are that stupid. Some people are that stupid. So maybe that person is, and I hope they are listening. And if they are listening, then and it's sarcastic, well done, because that's a good one. If you're not being sarcastic, you are a fucking plum.
Dear. Oh, okay. Right, final negative one. Dreadful, been coming for weeks, so blunt going forward, and defence without Paul looks terrible. Now, the latter part of that, I wouldn't say looks terrible, but they're so blunt going forward. Yes, we have been blunt going forward, I think, last couple of weeks for sure. And we haven't taken chances when they've come to us. But dreadful, been coming for weeks.
Yeah, I mean, a defeat has been coming for weeks because we're not going to go through the whole season. We're not going to go through the whole season undefeated. So yes, you could say. I mean, how clever is this person? I'm so clever. I'm so astute that I foresaw this defeat. I told you. I've been telling you for weeks. I've been saying it since the first game of the season. I knew that we would lose at some point, and here it is.
At some point, I had this text ready to go, this tweet ready to go.
I was
day one.
I told you, listen to me. I knew we would get beaten.
It's like a Sun journalist, isn't it? It's like a Sun journalist writing up shit, and so eventually some of it will come true.
Yeah, some of it will stick.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that's.
November unbeaten is a great achievement, and it's not like we haven't created anything today. It's one of those where we lick our wounds and we go again Tuesday. Morel would be such a reliable player if he didn't pick up such silly yellow cards. Now, I think that's quite nicely put. Yeah. Really? Yeah, I think that's a fair reflection. Next one. Everyone is entitled to a poor day, and Pompey have had enough credit in the bank to be due one. But getting hammered at home is tough to watch. I think we all agree with that. I think we all agree with that. So there you go. A little bit of balance there, Dan. And to be fair, we were poor, but Oxford, one of our nearest competitors, lost away to Cheltenham. Not only lost to Cheltenham, who obviously a dog turd this season, but they also Cheltenham had a player sent off just before half time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oxford did then have a player sent off on 68 minutes, but they then they still lost to Cheltenham, having been a man up for a while. So we may have been terrible, but we're not worse. It's the moral to that. There you go. It's a bad day at the office. Hopefully, we'll put it right against who they called Burton.
Yeah. Just very quickly, are you expecting us to make signings soon?
When Jan? Yes, I think we will. I think they've already talked, haven't they? Old Richie Hughes has said that they have a plan to go after a centre back because they basically said they want 4 centre backs. Obviously, they've now lost one for the season. They know he's not going to be back this season. And although Ogilvy can cover, they still want that competition there, which is fair enough. I think that's fair enough, and I think it's kind of a little bit of a kick in the teeth because it probably is saying that Towler and Raggett aren't good enough to play the sort of way they want to play. So the difficult thing is
really pleased if you were them, wouldn't you?
Now's your chance, lads, until January.
Yeah. Do I need to bring my boots on Saturday, boss? No, it's all right, mate. Just bring your jacket. Okay.
Wrap up warm. It's going to be a cold one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think another winger as well? I know we've got. Well, I suppose you could say how long's Scully out for?
Scully early next year, isn't he? Early next year, so possibly January-ish.
So we've got Scully, White, Martin.
I think if anything, centre midfield's where we maybe need someone, isn't it? Because I think we're a little bit light there. I know we've still got Stevenson, we've still got what's his name, old Terry, but clearly neither of those are getting a lot of game time. Terry a little bit more than Stevenson, but I don't think Stevenson's I don't think he's trusted for what they want him for, is he? So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly a centre back though. possibly a left back. Depends how long Ogilvy's going to be out for. So I think Sparks, although again good going forward, not great defensively, and Hume, let's be honest, isn't going to play again this season, is he? Not in the league.
I mean, I would give Sparks a go at left wing, I think.
Yeah.
He's not
going to play left back.
He's not going to take people on, but I mean, when Ogilvy's back.
Yeah. What about Burton? Burton Tuesday night. By the time we put this out, we'd probably be in that game by now, and hopefully a couple of goals up. But what's your prediction for that? Burton's form haven't won in 5, lost the last 2. They've lost 3 out of the last 4, in fact, and haven't won in 5. They're currently 17th, just 3 points above the relegation zone. So they're fighting for points. It's a good opportunity to bounce back, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to say, let's go and get a win, but I daren't say anything. I daren't make any sort of prediction.
No prediction.
Yes, let's hopefully let's just go and get 3 points, and then everyone's happy again, aren't they? Who have Bolton got tomorrow? Are they playing tomorrow? Or they are? Oh, it's the big game, isn't it? Oxford, away to Oxford. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there you go. That's good for Pompey then. Drops points for both teams would be lovely. And then we go back top, and everyone says, "Yeah, told you, didn't I? Senior in.
Senior in. We love him. He's the second coming.
Told you. I told you we'd lose to Blackpool, and then win the next game." Yeah.
Yes. Anyway. Right. Play your Pompey cards. Let's play some Play Your Pompey Cards.
I've got a different quiz for you.
Okay. Well, let's not play Your Pompey Cards.
So, do you ever watch what's it called? Richard Osman's House of Games.
Oh no! Richard Osman's House of Games. No, I've seen Alan Carr does a thing where they play loads of different old school games. No. Watched that for the first time the other day. Anyway, got Richard Osman's House of Games.
Yeah. No. So he does this round where it's called Answer Smash, and you'll get the 2 answers, but if you put them together, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So what I've got is I'm going to give you a clue of a Pompey player, past or present, and then their name will combine with another Pompey player. So I'll give you the example is if I said to you, ex Portsmouth and Tottenham legend and ex Portsmouth manager who used to play centre back for Arsenal, you would say, who's the first one? So Darren Anderton, and the manager
Tony Adams.
So put them together is Darren and Tony Adams. Okay.
Right, Darren and Tony Adams. Yeah.
That's it. That's your answer. That's your 2 answers.
Oh,
that's what you need to do.
Oh, it's not. You're not creating a new. Yeah,
no.
A second. I thought it was going to be like Darren Adams, who was, I don't know, the person who...
Oh, no. That's it.
Took the floodlights down in the Fratton end or something.
No, so that's it. Right, so Darren and Tony Adams. That's how they merge together.
Oh, they're linking to the TO. Right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, now I've gotcha. Right. Yes.
Your first one, your 2 players are...
Right. Gotcha.
Current Portsmouth and Northern Ireland midfielder.
Yeah.
And legendary Portsmouth defender. So what's your first one, do you think? Current Portsmouth and Northern Ireland midfielder is
Paddy Lane
or
Gavin White
or
Terry oh God, what's his surname?
He's just there, isn't he? He's just there behind you.
He is just there. What's his name? Terry. Goodness me, I can't think of his surname.
He said his name a minute ago.
I know.
Terry
Devlin Linvoy Primus.
So say it together.
Terry Devlin Boy Primus.
Very good.
Terry Devlin Boy Primus.
Well done.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
This got legs.
Good. Right. Here we go then. Right. Former Portsmouth and Spurs midfielder. Different one.
Okay.
And Portsmouth defender between 2001 and 2003 who made 19 appearances.
Oh, God. 2001, 2003. Portsmouth midfielder.
Portsmouth and Spurs and Rangers midfielder.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So Pedro Mendes, no, and Rangers.
And used to follow his manager around a lot.
Oh, Nico Cranchar.
Yeah.
Crunch car.
Yeah.
Oh, car.
Portsmouth defender,
car.
2003.
If you're watching this and you know, put it in the comments. Car. 19.
2001, 2003, 19 appearances. Well known for being quite rubbish. And surname is also could be somebody who does something on the roof of your house.
Carl Tyler.
Nico Crunch Carl Tyler. Easy, isn't it? Nico Crunch Carl Tyler. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh shit! I've just realised that I didn't write one for the last one. Okay, right. Former Portsmouth forward who scored in the EFL final in 2019, and ex-rubbish player who played a part in ending PFC's 27-game unbeaten league run at the weekend.
So it's Jamal Lowendale.
Very good. There you go. That's a good one. Right. Former Portsmouth midfielder. French former Portsmouth midfielder who played 14 games between 2007 and 2009, and former Pompey captain who scored 7 goals in 70 appearances, most notably in a 2-0 win against Scum in 1988. Do you want them again?
So is it Lassana Diarra?
French former Portsmouth midfielder who played 14 games between 7 and 9. I'm struggling with that one.
Trick is one of the lot. French midfielder, 14 games.
Yeah.
No, you got me there.
It's Arnold Mvwemba Harry Horn. Arnold Mvwemba Harry Horn. And I've got another one, but I forgot to write a description down for them both. So
wing it.
Okay, wing it. All right. Former Arsenal and Pompey winger, and former Pompey and Brighton forward who ended up being a manager, I think, of lower league teams, possibly.
Say the second one again. Former Pompey and Brighton.
Former Pompey and Brighton. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Brighton. And he went on to become a manager.
What position did he play for Pompey and Brighton?
He was forward. He was a striker. So who's the first one?
Right, Arsenal and Pompey winger. For some reason I've got Carter. Was it Jimmy Carter?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, is it?
Jimmy Carter. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy
Carter. No.
Jimmy Carter Connor.
Terry Connor. Right. Yes. Yeah, I know. Wasn't he? Wasn't Terry? Was it Terry Connor who was like Wolves' assistant to Mick McCarthy?
He was, wasn't he? I'm sure. Yeah. There you go then.
All right, good game. I like that. I wasn't very good, but if you got any of those, or if you got anyone similar ones you want to share, pop them in the comments down below. Why not? Pop them in the comments? Right, Dan, I've got a visual playing Pompey Cards Right for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. We all know who this is, don't we? It's the person I love to start my. It's always JMO. Right. So. Yeah. What we're talking here is we're talking Portsmouth, England internationals. But what I want to know from you, Dan, is not how many international caps they got in total. I want to know how many international caps they got whilst playing for Portsmouth.
All right,
so we're starting, and it's a higher or lower. So this is David James, obviously, 53 international caps altogether for England, 19 of which were for England.
Only 53. I would have thought he had more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of spread over a long time, about 12 years or so.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Next player is this ledge. Who, by the way, did you hear the breaking news? Was it last week that Sol Campbell is now retired from applying for football manager jobs?
Is that because? Decided, okay, yeah.
Because he's shit.
No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason why he doesn't get the jobs, mate. Come on.
Oh, he's not. He has quite a good managerial record. But anyway, as a player, and certainly for us, he is a great player.
Sol
Campbell, high or lower?
I was just about to say, yeah. Sorry, I was just about to say, oh yeah, he's definitely got more than that. But did he have them when he was playing at Pompey? That's the twist, isn't it, Mike?
That is the question. That is the twist.
Yes. I'm gonna say
19 David James for England whilst a Pompey player.
I'm gonna say lower.
Lower, you think? Sol Campbell got 73 caps altogether. 4 of which were whilst he was at Portsmouth. So you're right to go lower. Good shout. Now, next up, we have 2-time Pompey player. Here he is from his first signing for us, the handsome Peter Crouch.
Yeah, I thought that was from this country, isn't it? Was it? What's his name? Mackenzie Crook. Right, so
Peter Crouch.
Yeah.
Did he play for England more times than Sol Campbell did whilst he was at Portsmouth? Sol Campbell 4 times.
Well,
Peter Crouch,
1, 2, or 3 is a very, very low number, isn't it? But I'm sure he was still, when he was at Pompey second time round, he was he got more. He was playing for
late 2000s, wasn't it? When he came back, he wasn't particularly liked by Capello.
Yeah, he's got more. He's got about 9, I think.
Okay. 42 caps altogether, 6 of which were whilst he was at Portsmouth. So it is high. You are right to go higher.
I don't know why I came up with the number 9. Did you? It must be something subconscious. Did you?
Yeah.
Great big fat 9 in the middle of the screen. Doing your Darren Brown tricks on me. Right.
So here we go. This fella, we're talking about the one in the foreground, not the far side. So as far as I'm aware, I don't think Alan Bailey played for England, but Mark Hateley certainly did. How many times did he play for England whilst he was at Portsmouth? 32 times altogether.
Yeah, I reckon. Nah, see, I reckon that's going to be low.
Lower than Crouch.
I'm going to go lower. Yeah, I'm going to go. Oh yeah, 6.
Remember, he was the other scorer at the Maracana. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, and that one.
John Barnes.
John Barnes took on one player and scored the goal of the century.
Scored the best goal since Ricky Villa scored in the FA Cup final replay.
It's Ricky Villa took on one player and Baggio took on another one in 1990, whatever. Yeah, so I reckon in that top friendly against Brazil, the 2-0 friendly win. Right. I'm going to say lower again.
Lower than 6.
Yeah.
Mark Hateley, 32 times altogether. 4 caps whilst he was at Portsmouth. Okay, so we go on to the final one. This is for clean sweep.
Yep.
The clean sweep. Do you want to stick with your Mark Hateley 4 caps, or do you want to change it?
Well, I'll stick with Mark Hateley, why not?
Okay. So in that case, this would have been what you changed it to. Sir Jimmy of Dickinson.
Oh, right, yeah. I recognise him.
But instead, this is your final one.
Oh.
Do you stick with your Mark Hateley? Glenn Johnson.
Yeah.
Did he play for England more than 4 times whilst at Portsmouth?
Yeah.
You're going higher?
I think he did, because I remember, I'm sure he was like one of the ones where we had like James Johnson and a couple of others in the squad.
Crouch.
Crouch. So he was about 7, I think. Yeah, 7.
So you go 7.
Yeah.
Well, had you said lower? You would have been wrong because it's higher. It's 10.
Yay.
Congratulations, man. You got a clean sweep all the way across.
Oh, that's
so you went all the way across. David James, Sol Campbell, Pete Crouch, Lamar Healy, etc., etc. Well played. How did you get on with that version of?
I got 5 out of 5.
Pompey Cards Right.
Sorry. He's talking to me again.
No. I'm talking to the people who don't watch. Pop it in the comments. Tell us you are watching. If you've got this far in the pods, then well done. You've done better than most. We're still on our last 28 days. We have still had 9,000 watches, mostly of our reels. But thank you very much. If you are, why not like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Tell your friends, comment. If you want to comment, it really makes a big difference if you put some comments or some likes and things like that. We are at Pompey Pod on YouTube. We are / Pompey Pod on Facebook, and we are at Pompey Pod on X / Twitter.
There is a comment. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Or was it in the private chat?
Must be in the private chat. Oh yeah, private chat. There you go. Very kind of you.
How do you know it's me?
I think the private chat gives it away.
Oh yeah.
If you want to put some comments in, please do. That's it for the Pompey Pod this week. We will be back next week to review the Burton game. And who are we playing at the weekend? Northampton on the 2nd away. Then it's home.
Yeah.
Bolton on the 11th.
Big game, that one.
Do you reckon we'll be back top by then? Will we be back top by then? Maybe. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got Oxford tomorrow. So we will see.
Well, thanks very much for watching, listening, whichever channel you are doing it on, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, or Facebook Reels, or maybe even Instagram Reels, which we will be on from this week. Thanks very much, and good night.
Bye.